When you see this, that's a weapon. It's usually like this. To focus on yourself, you're hurting yourself eventually. You don't need to attach into yourself too purposely. War originated written like this. In ancient time, this, but it eventually fixed like this. When you see this, that's a weapon. It's usually like this. It's a kind of a 90-degree angle of knife. This part is knife, and this part is knife too. And this big handle, like spear. But it's double, okay? It's double-edged, 90-degree angle. That kind of weapon is called a ge. Pronounced as this, ge. It's very common in ancient time. When the spirit comes, then this one fade away. So when you see a character have this, that means that's a weapon. And that's dangerous. That's harmful. So originally this word is to describe a weapon. It's actually a combination weapon. One side is this weapon, and this side is another weapon. Something like Piggy in the journey to the west with a handle, right? The sharp teeth. Remember we said in Chinese connotation, anything 3 means more, Don't really exact, just a 3. Or 9, just more than 3. But when you get under 10, which means 10 to 90. 100 by, that means 100 to 999. Because after this, it's going to be qian. So 3 can use to describe exactly 3. Or it's more than 2. Okay, something like that, right? So sometimes it's vague, but the vague has its advantage. So many teeth, that kind of, this is a combination of a tool. You have this tool, go on the right side. Usually you need to want 2 hands. Then you have another tool with you. Seems like it's good. Maybe it's short, put them here. But if you are not good at it, you cannot manage it well, it's going to be a problem. It's going to harm you. Originally, this war is to describe the weapons. Double weapon, let's say that way. If you're good, you can play them very well, manage them very well, can protect you, you can fight very well in the war, but you cannot, it's going to hurt you. So it's borrowed to describe a war. Because usually when you fight, you hurt. Oh! The pronunciation is like, oh, oh! To borrow this weapon to describe, I'm hurt. When it borrowed, so the original meaning is lost along the history. Then we keep this meaning as war. So if you too focus on war, original meaning is you hurt. Okay, so you're too focused on yourself. You're hurting yourself. If you go to extreme, that means you're too attached to. You don't know you are hurting yourself because you don't think about the interaction with the other people, the interaction with the community, interaction with human being, interaction with the life on the earth. You're too focused on, oh, the original meaning is hurt because that's to hurt. That's hurt people. Either hurt people or you're hurt by this, right? So that's all, basic meaning. All right? You see the evolution, development. The word is not bad. Depends how you use it under what kind of context. So that's how this character evolved. So this looks like this now, right? It composed of two sides, one side on this side. So in a way, in Chinese is easier actually. Only the character. But if you understand the pictographic, understand ideological meaning behind this, the picture getting more and more and more abstract and more like today. But you see this, you have this in mind, you have this idea in mind. It's easy. When you write it, you want to think about the picture, evolution. This is evolving. You understand it. You will understand more meaning behind it. And it helps you to memorize, to understand, and to memorize. Yin, xíng, yi, okay? Pictographic, phonetic, and also ideologic. Three things together. Okay, that's 我. So if you're too attached to 我, you're hurting yourself because the meaning throughout the history has been used by millions of people in thousands of years have that hurting meaning inside it. So you're doing too focused on yourself, you're hurting yourself eventually. You don't need to attach into yourself too purposely. When you meet with something, you get into a situation, you take it lightly. That will be good enough. You don't want to do it purposely. You say, okay, I don't want myself. Then you don't hate yourself, right? You don't want to hate yourself on the other hand. Because if there's no you, there's no you. If there's absolutely no you, that's not a good thing. Because no matter, you got to be there. Who you are, you just want to be better. You don't want to be being or not being. It's not a life or death issue. It's not a to be or not to be issue. Okay? Okay, that's a wall.